Even the Muslims and the Christians and the Jews. Everyone trying to admire him. His life is so difficult and the struggle from the beginning in his house. If you see the prophets, alayhimus salatu wassalam, fathers and family members, they were supportive. But here, Ibrahim alayhi salam's story is totally different because his father worshipping idols and his community also involved in that situation. Not only idols, they were worshipping stars and the moon. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he opened his eyes in that family, he was struggling a lot. Sometimes his father asked him to take the idols and sell it in the market. But the fitrah, the nature of the prophets are totally different because Allah selected them before they come to this world. Allah selected him, he was a young at that time. And one side is a father, another side is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا طاعة لمخلوق في معصية الخالق. If something happened in our lives, sometime maybe, the parents commanding us to do something wrong, and that is totally against the Islam and against the hukum of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what we supposed to do? Prophet alayhi salam said, you should see first what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying you. And listen to his command first. Even though you are disobeying your parents, that time you should refuse them. Like a Sahaba Ikram, Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in. They were in Makkah, they accepted Islam. But the parents, some parents, they still mushrikeen and the kuffar. They said, no, you cannot go to the Islam and listen to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sahaba said, no, we do respect you as a parents, but we cannot follow you whatever you are saying. So Ibrahim alayhi salam refused his father all the time, but the biggest problems about the community, they are also bothering. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him a wonderful nature and wonderful, like a thinking to Ibrahim alayhi salam. He start talking and making a small debate to the youngsters and trying to bring the realities in their minds. And the small examples. Today you can see one great example how Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam had done with his friends when he was young. Because community worshipping the stars, he stood one time and he said, look at the moon. It's so bright. What do you think? This moon is our God? And everyone surrounded him and they said, yeah, looks so bright. Because they already worshipping the sun and the moon and the stars. They said, yes. And after that, he came when, the moon was disappeared. And then he said, whatever you not see and disappear or sunset or something happened like it, that is not our God. And then he saw the star and then he said, what do you think about this star? It's so bright, looks so nice. And the star, after 1, 2 hours, 3 hours, what happened? Again moving to the different area or disappeared. Then again, Ibrahim alayhi salam made the same conversation. If you don't see, the star here, before you saw a couple hours ago, that means that is not our God. Lest moon and the stars gone, فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ بَازِغَةً. Now so brighter. What? Is a Shams, sun. He might be our God. Then after that, all day long, and then he went to same gathering and he said, well, now is a sunset. Now sun is not with us. Then how come he is our sun? We cannot worship this sun. One by one, Ibrahim alayhi salam trying to bring in their mind and trying to tell them, if the moon and the sun and the stars not exist, we are not able to worship. Similar time of his story in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about the Ibrahim alayhi salam. One day, community decided to make a Eid. Like we are celebrating Eid also. But they had a system during the Eid time, everyone trying to go to the ocean and they make empty the whole city. No one stay in the city. Let's go outside and celebrate that Eid over there. His community people came and they said, come on Ibrahim, we can go. We can go. Ibrahim alayhi salam just saw the sky and he made it one story and he said, look like I'm not feeling good. Mufassirin debate about this conversation in the Quran so many places. Why Ibrahim alayhi salam said like that, even though he was not sick. Some Mufassirin said he was tired, that's why he said he was sick. Somebody said no, he was trying to do better than that in the same story. That's why he said. Anyway, we are not talking about that matter today. Finally, the whole community went for Eid. After that, Ibrahim alayhi salam entered in the temple and he destroyed all idols and except the big one. He left the big one. And he put the hammer on his shoulder. Next day, people came and they saw in the temple all the, idols somebody destroyed. And what's going on? Who disrespect our holy place? The guy who heard Ibrahim alayhi salam said, I'm not feeling good, I'm not coming with you. He said, I know who did it. Only one person, because he always making argument with us, and he is the only one always telling about, bad things about our idols. He must be. Ibrahim alayhi salam called, and then he stood, and then he said, wow, all the idols gone except this big one. He might be did something. He is the one, the bigger one, holding the hammer, he is the man. Then the community said, how come Ibrahim? How come he is going to destroy it? Then Ibrahim alayhi salam said, that's the reason I am asking you. These idols not going to harm anyone, not going to kill anyone, not going to give any benefit. So how come you are going to worship them? Ibrahim alayhi salam point here is also bring the mind in that situation and treat them and telling them these are idols, not our God. Similarly, in this story, Ibrahim alayhi salam gave them great example. Not the moon, not the sun, not the stars, you are gods, and not worship them. You should worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then say, إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين. This wonderful ayah, brothers and sisters, try to memorize it. Because in our countries, our shuyukh teaching us to say this ayah before you start your praying salah. What Ibrahim alayhi salam said, I face to that God who created heavens and the earth. I am not among the mushrikeen. Because when we are worshipping, when we are making the ibadah, we should clean our hearts. We should say, La ilaha illallah. There is no God but Allah. I am worshipping in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, first we want to take away everything from our hearts. Not only just like a real shirk and the kufr. Ulama said, even the small shirk, what we have in our mind, in our hearts. Sometimes we are thinking, oh, this boss is everything for me. If he is going to kick out, what happened? I'm going to struggle. So people are worshipping about our managers, our bosses in the companies and the businesses. We are thinking, what happened if this business collapse or something happened like that? No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without His order, even the small thing, even the branches of the trees cannot move. This iman and aqidah, this yaqeen have to build in our life. So Ibrahim alayhi salam said, Inni wajjahtu wajhiya lilladhi fatara as-samawati wal arda hanifa wa ma ana min al-mushrikeen. Wahajjahu qawmu. He made a debate to the qawm, to the people, when he made this example, the great example. Ibrahim alayhi salam, from the beginning, when he was teenager, he was talking to his friends and bringing closer to the Islam when he was grown up, and so many difficulties he was facing against the Namrud. What happened? Some other stuff, inshallah, we are going to talk later on about the Ibrahim alayhi salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to build our iman, build our yaqeen. Yaqeen and iman so is very important. Dear brothers and sisters, I will give you the example. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam start preaching in the land of Makkah, 13 years he was built up and he was making the iman. Only one work. Nothing happened. Sahaba came to Prophet alayhi salam and they said, Oh Ya Rasulullah, what's going on? Look at them, how they are torturing us. Can we stand against them? He said, no. This is not a time. This is not a time. First, Rasulullah build the iman. Iman, if we have, is strong. All other problems going to solve. Without building the iman, because the iman is a different and the Islam is different. قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا. One group came from outside and they entered in the Islam. They said, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. And they were excited. They were talking to each other, oh, we are believers now. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, no, you are Muslimin now. After you enter in the Islam, you should start working hard. When you build up iman, then everything is easy for you. If you don't have a strong iman, then it's so difficult to practice, sacrifice everything. Dear brothers, tell me, entire world, look around, the iman, Muslim Jama'ah, how big it is. But whenever the time comes to sacrifice, we are saying no. Small things, only just a time matter. For worshipping ibadah and this and that, we are making big excuses. We are saying no. We are saying so many debates. No, this is not. That is not. This hadith is za'if. That hadith is za'if. How come if you are not ready to spend a few minutes and few hours for the sake of Allah, can we sacrifice our wealth? Can we sacrifice our lives? Can we sacrifice our family? No. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam was working hard 13 years to just build the iman. When the iman, like a community and the group was ready, then the ahkam and all other stuff start coming in Madinatul Munawwarah. So Ibrahim alayhi salam was working hard in that qawm and making so many examples, and finally what happened? The big fitna came, and the king was calling to Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam was a great prophet of Allah. He answered so many things. We will talk about it inshallah tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.